What is BodyTalk really? Let's explore. So BodyTalk, plain and simple, is a healthcare system. And this healthcare system is based in what we were talking about earlier, consciousness. So that's a different approach compared to most. So let's explore really what that means. According to the World Health Organization, if we were to look across all cultures and all traditions, they relied on, first and foremost, energy medicine as their system of healthcare. The only one that has not is this one. So healing was accomplished by moving energy in every single culture and in every single tradition, except for this one. Isn't that intriguing to you? Yeah. So we're missing something that's been around forever and a day. So why are we throwing the baby out with the bathwater? You know? So why not embrace all forms of healing and knowledge that are available to us? That includes Western medicine, that includes Eastern medicine, and that includes everything in between. Okay? It's also interesting to note that according to the World Health Organization, between 2/3 and 3/4 of the population rely on alternative medicine as their primary system of healthcare. So even currently speaking, the majority of the world is relying on alternative medicine as their primary system of healthcare. Isn't that also really intriguing? Yeah. So if you were in China and you were getting treated for something, you wouldn't just get a Western medicine doctor, you would also get a Chinese medical doctor. Yeah. So you might get put to sleep for anesthetic in a surgery by getting an acupuncture needle instead of getting drugs. So there's an awful lot of alternative viewpoints out there. So let's explore a little further. Okay. So I keep talking about how BodyTalk is consciousness-based medicine. Let's explore that word. What does that really mean? Okay. So consciousness, simply put, is all there is. I realize it's not a very helpful definition. So consciousness is at the root of everything that's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. At the root of it all is consciousness. So when you go to the very root of something, you know, if you're gardening and you want to get to the root of something, you dig a little deeper. Consciousness would be at that root. Okay? So we have lots of people in society that treat the physical body. What do we call them? Doctors, yeah. Naturopaths treat a little on the physical side, would you say? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. What about mental? Who treats mental and emotional bodies? Psychologists? Mm-hmm. Pardon? Psychotherapists? Yeah. Yep. Okay. What about counselors? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So lots of people treat the mental, the emotional body. Those are a couple. What about the spiritual body? Who treats the spiritual body? Priests, pastors, shamans, medicine men. Yeah. So we've got lots of people who treat every one of these things. Who treats consciousness?
BodyTalk practitioners.
Exactly. Body talkers treat consciousness. Okay? So we are in the understanding that you cannot actually touch one of those areas without affecting all of them. Okay? So our approach is very much dynamic systems theory based rather than that, engine kind of model. Like you take away the parts and you figure out how the whole thing works. Mm-hmm. We say if you touch one little piece of that puzzle, it's going to ripple and ricochet throughout the entire system. Everything is so entangled or integrated and intertwined that you can't help but impact the whole entire system. Yeah, does that make sense from your personal experience in the world? Yeah. So even think about when you go to the doctor's office and you get your prescription and you get it filled and then you get the side effect sheets and it's just one little chemical, maybe it's one little hormone, and the side effects, do they ever say, nope, nothing? This is fine, go ahead, it won't touch anything else, just that one chemical will be replaced? No, what does it say? Well, there's like a novel, right? You've got to sort through 3 or 4 pages and go, here are all the other possibilities. Don't you love those commercials where it's like, well, I have restless leg syndrome. Well, all this will treat everything, but it will also carry some substantial side effects. By the way, there's a possible risk of death or whatever it is they have on that commercial. You know? So, and have you ever noticed that those commercials spend a whole lot more time talking about the possible side effects than they do the actual treatment of the thing? Yeah. So all this adds up to say that the body is intertwined and intertangled in a way that we don't always give it credit. Yeah. So your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual body is much the same. Yeah? So you cannot change one little thing. Think of how you feel if you're having an off day. You feel a little sad. Do you feel zippy and ready to go do that workout or take on your day? Does your body feel full of physical energy? No. Yeah. So we treat what's at the root of all those things collectively. You can also think of consciousness as a metaphor, as I like to think of it, as the psychology of the body. So think of all the little parts as little people with little personalities, and they all have their own little job to do. So the heart's got its job to do, and if we think of what the heart does, it pumps blood on a physical level, but what about on that metaphorical level, your heart connection? You know, we talk about coming from the heart. You know? So all the body parts have their own role to play. Earlier I talked about the ovary, and I thought my doctor, well, I shouldn't say my doctor, my BodyTalk practitioner was a total quack. No? Turns out, guess what the ovary does? It provides willpower. It provides the will to survive. So that seems relatively important when you're going through a pretty tough disease process, yeah? Yeah, so it made a whole lot more sense to me what was coming up in my sessions when I got a little bit of understanding from that regard. So this is how we view consciousness in many different ways throughout the body-mind.